My name's Sean, I'm the owner of Base Gym. We're located here in Bristol and it's about 12,500 square foot, and it's just a gym that kind of incorporates, I kind of like to call it a hybrid gym. It's not quite that, but it kind of incorporates a few different things. So we're probably mainly bodybuilding, but we have a good section of powerlifting, a little bit of strongman, a bit of kind of functional open training as well. So I've been in this location for 3 years, and then I've got another one down in Yeovil, which is a little bit less, about 2.5 years I've been in that site so far. So Ashbourne, when I first spoke to them, the main things that made me want to do that is purely my outdated system of doing quite a lot manually. And it was quite primitive, the system I was using before, whereas Ashbourne, after the chat with Evie, my first thing, that seemed extremely streamlined, and it just took all the admin out for me. I just didn't want to do all of the background manually, so now it's just super automated. I don't have to do much for it, and you guys pretty much run the show behind the scenes for me, so I don't have to worry about the memberships too much. I think probably the main thing that's helped growth is maybe slightly indirect in terms of retention. So because of the system being quite easy and you guys manage it and you chase customers for bits and pieces, they don't naturally fall off if I can't get payments out of it, etc. It seems a bit more professionally run, and there's more legislation behind it. So my main thing from that point of view is that it grows purely because you guys keep on top of my members to keep their payments up to date, rather than me falling off it and it being an outdated manual system that I was doing. It's mainly from that point of view. Before I had the proper system of Ashbourne, it was probably my only other headache, apart from kind of membership admin, was just traffic through the door and just monitoring that. So having a proper sign-in system. Before I was pen and paper, so properly old school, which fake names and all sorts of whatever they want to do can be a problem. Whereas with Ashbourne, because we use the fingerprint system here at both Bristol and at Yeovil, you can't use someone else's data. Your fingerprint is your fingerprint, and you can't forget it. So that was the biggest thing for me, was just having that system alongside the admin problems was probably the two biggest things that it cured for me as a business, was those two. In terms of multi-access, I don't necessarily market it as a thing because they're so far apart, but I do allow my members to use across both site usage, which again is easy for the member. Because the systems are integrated and they both use the same system through Ashbourne, they don't have to do any other thing when they get down to the other site. They just scan their fingerprint as normal and sign into it. So it's quite nice from a customer point of view that it seems more streamlined and less messy for the customer. They just turn up, they don't have to prove who they are when they've got a membership. They just scan the fingerprint and go train. So I've been with Ashbourne for 3 years. The onboarding process was extremely simple. I think speaking to Evie at the start, she just did it all for me. Essentially, it was very, very simple. All the information was pretty much clearly listed in an email. I think we had quite a few conversations about how she could help and implement the system as well. And with the support of the IT at Ashbourne, I pretty much got calls from them, gave them access to the computer with a simple phone call, and they just remotely accessed the computer and they just uploaded all the software for me. I didn't have to do any complicated tech or IT stuff. It was purely take a phone call, click a couple of buttons on the computer, and the rest was history. That was it. It was done. Implementing the system into what my old system was, kind of had two different experiences from both gyms. So the Bristol, because I was very old school and outdated, it was really easy, but I just had to manually input all of the members because they weren't anywhere datally, essentially. Whereas the Yeovil site, because it already had, I had spreadsheets and reports from an older system they were using, I was able to simply just upload a document to you guys, and you all implemented it into the Ashbourne system as you loaded the software in. So all of my members on an older system with a different company before I bought them out was then just uploaded into Ashbourne automatically. So the Yeovil site was easier because they were a bit more organised, whereas I wasn't organised in my first one. So yeah. In terms of recommending Ashbourne, I would strongly do so. It's why I've integrated it across my second site, because I was impressed with it, how it worked on my first site. I initially just did it at one site just to see how it went. After about 2 months, I was like, yeah, it's good for me, so it didn't take too long, and I implemented it into the other one. So yeah, I would strongly recommend Ashbourne, purely just because of the ease. It's one of the few things I don't really worry about is the computer system, members signing in, payments being taken, just because it seems quite self-run, so I don't really have to worry about it. If you're looking to implement it into your system, definitely worth a call. There was lots of things I haven't taken into consideration in terms of access control. Turnstiles and things, ways of accessing the gym. I don't personally use it here, and there's lots of other options I didn't actually realise you could offer. So I would strongly recommend Ashbourne, and if I do get more sites in the future, it will be managed membership-wise through Ashbourne.